The year was 1849. The United States was a nation divided, with slavery casting a dark shadow over the land. In the midst of this turmoil, a young woman was about to change the course of history. A young woman named Harriet Tubman made a daring decision. She chose freedom. Born into slavery, Harriet had endured unimaginable hardships, but her spirit remained unbroken. She knew that the only way to truly live was to escape the chains that bound her.
I fled the Maryland plantation where I was enslaved. The memories of the harsh treatments and the endless labor fueled my determination. I knew the risks, but the thought of freedom was worth any danger. The night swallowed me whole as I ran. The forest was dense and the path uncertain, but the stars above guided me. Every rustle in the bushes, every snap of a twig sent chills down my spine. But I pressed on, driven by the hope of a new dawn.
Tubman was running towards a new life, a life without chains. Her journey was not just a physical escape, but a spiritual one. She was breaking free from the shackles of oppression and stepping into the light of freedom. The journey was fraught with danger. Treacherous landscapes, wild animals, and the ever-present threat of capture loomed large, but Harriet's resolve was unwavering. She knew that every step she took brought her closer to freedom.
I was hunted by slave catchers. The thought of capture spurred me on. I hid in the shadows, moved silently through the night, and trusted no one. Every moment was a test of my will and my courage.
Reaching Pennsylvania, she crossed the border into a free state. The air felt different, lighter. She had made it, but her heart was heavy with the knowledge that many others were still in chains. But her journey wasn't over. Freedom was not just for her, but for all those she had left behind. She knew she had a mission, a purpose greater than herself.
I vowed to return and guide others to freedom. The Underground Railroad became my path, and I led many to the light of liberty. My journey was just beginning, and I would not rest until every soul was free.
Born Araminta Minty Ross around 1822, Harriet Tubman's life began in the brutal reality of slavery. From the moment she took her first breath, she was bound by the chains of oppression, her fate seemingly sealed by the color of her skin and the circumstances of her birth. Her birthplace, Dorchester County, Maryland, was a world away from freedom. The lush fields and serene landscapes masked the harsh realities of the lives of those who toiled there. The land was fertile, but for the enslaved it was a place of relentless labor and suffering.
As a child, she witnessed the horrors of slavery firsthand. The crack of the overseer's whip, the cries of pain, and the endless days of back-breaking work were her daily reality. She saw families torn apart, children taken from their mothers, and the constant threat of violence that loomed over every enslaved person. One incident left an indelible mark on her. It was a moment that would shape her resolve and fuel her desire for freedom. A heavy weight thrown at another enslaved person struck her in the head. The blow was severe, causing a traumatic brain injury that would affect her for the rest of her life.
This injury caused lifelong seizures and headaches. Despite the pain and suffering, it also became a source of strength and resilience for Harriet. She learned to endure and persevere, qualities that would define her in the years to come. It also ignited a spiritual fire in her. Harriet found solace and strength in her faith, believing that her visions and dreams were divine messages guiding her path.
She experienced vivid dreams and visions, which she interpreted as messages from God. These spiritual experiences gave her hope and a sense of purpose, fueling her determination to seek freedom not just for herself, but for others as well. Harriet Tubman's early life in chains was marked by pain and hardship, but it also forged the unbreakable spirit that would lead her to become one of history's most iconic freedom fighters.
Harriet Tubman became a conductor on the Underground Railroad. This was a network of secret routes and safe houses. It helped enslaved people escape to free states and Canada.
My knowledge of the land and unwavering courage made me a skilled guide.
She made 13 perilous journeys back to the South. Each time she risked her life to free others.
I led my passengers by night, using the North Star as our compass.
She earned the nickname Moses for leading her people to freedom. Section 4, A Soldier for Freedom.
The Civil War erupted in 1861, a conflict that would determine the fate of a divided nation. The war pitted the Union forces of the North against the Confederate forces of the South, and it was a battle over the very soul of America. Harriet Tubman saw an opportunity to strike a blow against slavery. She had already risked her life countless times to lead enslaved people to freedom through the Underground Railroad. Now she could take her fight to a larger stage. She joined the Union Army, putting her skills to use for the cause of freedom. Tubman was not content to simply support from the sidelines. She wanted to be in the thick of the action, where she could make the most impact.
Tubman served as a scout, a spy, and a nurse. Her knowledge of covert operations and her ability to navigate hostile territories made her an invaluable asset to the Union Army. She gathered crucial intelligence, tended to the wounded, and provided guidance to soldiers.
In 1863, she led the Combahee River Raid. This was a meticulously planned operation aimed at disrupting Confederate supply lines and liberating enslaved people. This daring mission freed over 700 enslaved people in South Carolina. It was a significant blow to the Confederacy and a monumental victory for the Union forces.
Tubman's bravery and strategic mind were instrumental in the raid's success. Her leadership and courage inspired both soldiers and freed slaves, proving that determination and intelligence could overcome even the most daunting challenges. She proved that women could be leaders in wartime. Tubman's legacy as a soldier for freedom is a testament to her unwavering commitment to justice and equality. Her contributions during the Civil War were not just acts of bravery, but also of profound strategic importance. Section 5. A Voice for the Voiceless.
Even after the Civil War, Harriet Tubman continued to fight relentlessly for equality. She campaigned tirelessly for women's suffrage, advocating for justice. She believed that women, especially Black women, deserved the fundamental right to vote.
Tubman also dedicated her entire life to helping others.
She established the Harriet Tubman Home for the Aged in Auburn, New York. This provided essential care for elderly African Americans, ensuring their dignity in their later years.
Section 6. An Enduring Legacy.
Harriet Tubman's life story is a testament to the human spirit's resilience. Born into slavery, she rose to become a conductor, a soldier, and a champion for social justice. Her courage and determination continue to inspire generations.
Her legacy lives on in every corner of American society.
Schools, museums, and organizations bear her name. Her image graces postage stamps and a forthcoming $20 bill.
Her story reminds us that even in the face of adversity, one person can make a difference. Section 7. Conclusion. The Unquenchable Flame. Harriet Tubman's life was a beacon of hope. She lit the way for countless souls seeking freedom. Her unwavering belief in justice, equality, and the inherent worth of every human being continues to ignite the flames of change today. Her story is a call to action. It is a reminder that the fight for equality is a marathon, not a sprint. And like Harriet Tubman, we must never stop running towards that promised land of freedom and justice for all.